A couple days ago, I did a tire video, and I got home, and I figured out that it didn't record, or I didn't hit record, or something. Anyway, so I have two parts of this video. One I have from last week, and then I'm restarting from the beginning today. So you'll see me in two different outfits, essentially. All right, so I want to talk about the tire jump, and I wanted to talk about a couple of different things to know about the tire jump. First off, know that different organizations have different diameters of their tire jumps. This one here is a USDAA tire, and so its circumference is smaller than an AKC tire. And the only reason to know that is that sometimes dogs who go from an AKC tire onto a USDAA tire, because it's smaller, have a tendency to balk at it if they're worried about it. So I just wanted you to know that. The other thing that's important to know is that tires nowadays are breakaway. So they break away and they can will snap back together. There's different types of tire jumps. There's saloon door, there's this one. I've seen PVC, so there's different types of tire jumps. The tire jump itself used to be a tire, and so it used to be quite high. All right, let's not go back and forth. So my point of telling you that, about the breakaway tires, that a lot of the old tires are not breakaway. And so the reason that we have breakaway tires is because dogs were getting injured on the breakaway tire. So they would jump incorrectly, and they would, hold on, let me find a switch. So they would jump in correctly, and they would either get hit it with their chest, or they'd get hung up on their groin. And when they hit it incorrectly and it doesn't break apart, the whole frame, oh, good boy, the whole frame goes over on them, or even worse, is that the tire catches their groin and it flips the dog out. I didn't throw anything, buddy. I didn't throw anything. So word of warning for anybody looking buying a used tire, make sure that it's breakaway. I would avoid the ones that are no longer breakaway. Right, so one of the reasons that dogs struggle with the tire jump, and when I say struggle, generally they'll do one of two things if they're not grabbing the tire itself, is they will come through this little gap, or they'll jump right through here. And so when we are doing the tire jump, there's a reason that dogs do that. Well, there's probably several reasons, but here are a couple of the ones that I believe are impacting our dogs not wanting to go for the center of the tire. The main one is how dogs jump naturally. So I'm going to insert a video here. When dogs jump, they rarely go for the center of the bar. They almost always go for the side. And so when we're doing a tire jump, the dogs want to come as close to this wing, if you see this as a wing, right, the frame of the tire, they want to get as close to us, and what the tire does is it forces them to go find center. It forces them out to go find center without us, and it's just not natural for dogs to do. Yeah, good boy, good job. So even if I run through this, jump. He's going to come closer to the right side. Jump. Jump. Yeah. All right, so let's talk about our tire now. So what happens with the tire and how it relates to regular jumping is the dog always wants to jump as close to you as possible. So they want to jump for this wing, right? For the tire frame. They want to jump for here, and so they're looking to try and jump right through here or run right through here. And so what we're asking them to do is go find center and jump it, right? And so that's pretty hard for them to do. They want to jump here or come through here. And the tire, not only do they have to go dead center to the tire, but they also have to navigate its circumference. And so that multitasking takes training. And again, building value for going to dead center of the tire. And so what I train is, well, first I train just them going through. So this is how I start my training. Okay, good one. I put them fairly close. Sit. I come to the opposite side of the tire. I do not block the tire. All right, so I don't block it. I don't have my body any way in there. I step off to the side, facing the direction I want to go. I get my head down through the tire, looking at them, and I put my head and my eyes and my moving wiggly finger dead center to the tire. So I'm looking at my dog through the tire, not through here. Through here they're gonna want to gravitate towards me, right? So I'm gonna put my hand dead center, I'm gonna wiggle it, and I'm gonna move out of my dog's way. Okay, super. Okay, super, and I move out of my dog's way. When I'm working with my students, we actually do this together. They're on one side, I'm on the other. We pull the dog back and forth. So as my dog is out with somebody else, I'm here pulling them through. So that's round one. So just getting them used to going through the tire. What I really try to avoid, I will only do this with a very small handful of dogs, is help them by throwing a cookie through. Right? I very rarely do that. What I would prefer is to send them on a get it over there. So get it, and then help them through. Right? So the last thing that I want to do is send a cookie through to help my dog go through. The other thing to be very aware of with brand new dogs is to not drop the cookie too close to the landing. So they want to get their entire body through. And if you drop it too close, then the dog can do what's called a handstand, and they will try and prevent their back feet from hitting, but they're not always successful, and so they'll actually land on the tire. And so I don't like to throw through because you're more likely to have an issue. So how do I do it? I go into the 2-target game. You can see he's already starting to pick this up. And so what I do is I stand very close to the tire, and I have 2 targets on either side of me. So I'll link a video that shows how I do this, how I do the 2-target game, and then I reward them for going through. Yeah, good boy, super. I like to use cheese that is right off the surface, or whatever surface you have. So if you're on grass, then use cubed mozzarella cheese. If you're on dirt, use cubed mozzarella cheese in the early days. I'm using darker cheese cookies today because that's all I have today. But that's the 2-target game, and building value just for them going through it. Now, if he was to go through, hi buddy. All right, let's stop for a second. Good job, hang here, just hang out. If he was to go underneath, wait, bud, can you settle? Good, just settle. If he was to start going underneath, then I would stay in close, and I would do one of 2 things. One, I would either block it with a cone or a sandbag, something that just blocks that area, to try and see if I can help them understand what I want them to do. When they go through, I give them a yes cue. That means, yes, you're right, go find a cookie on the floor. If they go through the gap, if there's nothing there to stop them, if they do go underneath it, then I give them a nope, and I don't throw anything, and then I try and help them the next time by either leaning in, or what I'll do, let me go get more cookies. What I'll do if a dog is struggling is it's seriously dog dependent. So I like to be able to see what the dog's doing, why they're doing it, to figure out why I want, or how I want to fix it. And so blocking it off it's a choice. It's definitely a choice. But there are some dogs that once that is removed, they go right back to going underneath. And so I want to know why they're trying to avoid going through. And so I'm going to give you a couple of suggestions, but it's seriously dog dependent. And without seeing your dog, you're just going to have to try all of them, or if you can figure out. So I'll tell you why I think dogs go underneath. One of them is to avoid. They're afraid of it. And so they actually don't want anything going through over their heads. They're afraid of maybe the movement of it. Something has scared them. So for those dogs, I will block it because I don't find that it's something that they're avoiding to avoid, right? So they're just worried about it. So if we can teach them that the center, buddy, if we can teach them that the center has value, then that's a good thing. Other things that I will do, and for a very soft dog, I will be extremely careful about this and maybe not even do it at all. So I would go to something physically blocking for a very soft dog. But if it's not a soft dog, so they're just avoiding it because it's faster to go underneath, right? They don't have any value for going to the center, and so it's just faster to go underneath. What I'll do is, if they don't look at the tire, they look. So this is very important that you watch what they're doing, because when they're coming off of the get it, when they're coming off of the reward that they just had, they will turn around and they will either look at you, they will look at the gap, or they'll look at the tire. If they look at the tire, leave them alone. Let them go and get the tire, reward them on the other side. If they look at the gap, then what I will do is I will just try, your timing's important here. I will step into that gap and I will see if they will get the tire instead. And if they do, yes, reward it. So as they come off the get it, I will step into the gap, reward them on the other side. Change sides, good. And sometimes I'll stay on one side because it's just easier for me to lift my right foot. And so I'll do my right foot. Yes, good job. I'll do my right foot both times. Yes, very good. Very good. So that's one thing that I'll do, is that I'll start to take up that gap. Good boy. Very, very good. The other one that I will do is I will put them, come here, bud. Right. The other one that I'll do is I will sit. I will put them in a sit stay, fairly close to it. You got to know your dog, fairly close to it. I will come to the other side and I will put my hand dead center, okay, and pull them through. So put them sit. Good. Wait, put my hand dead center. Okay. Yeah, and drop it out. Make sure you move your hand. Good boy. Good boy. So let me try that again. Sit, sit. Good. So I'm still on the side. Try not to kick the frame. They don't like that. Or most dogs don't. He doesn't care about it anymore. So hand goes dead center. Okay. Yes, good boy. Super. My preference is to throw. I had some crumbly treats there, so I fed it to him. Come here, buddy. Let's do that again. So sit. Good. So I don't throw until he commits. And I might have to step over the frame a little bit to get comfortable. Okay. Throw. Yes, good boy. Super. Super. Excellent. Very good. Very good. All right, then very quickly, what I do if they're doing well. So if they're doing well, so I start out here, and if they're doing really well, going out and finding dead center. I don't have the best cookies for this. Then I will take a step out and see if he'll go back out. Yes. Take a step out. Yes. Take a step out. Yes, good boy. And then I will alternate that with taking a step. Yeah, good boy. This side. So I'm still going to throw out there, but eventually I'm going to actually have him good come all the way around and do it again. So I'm walking with him. Yeah, good boy. Super. Walking with him. Yeah, good boy. Super. Yes, very good. All right, I'm out of cookies, so we're done. Good job. Good job of building up that distance. Now he's done tires a lot. He didn't start out like this. This was not how he started out. We built this time and time again. So I don't know, how many sessions have I done on the tire other than coursework? If I was to take a total guess, I'd say right around 10 or 12 independent tire sessions. That's my guess. Over a year and a half. I think I'm right on that. 10 to 12 sessions, and then it's within courses. And but I worked on this 2 target training with the tire a lot. a lot. So he knows this game really well. I would say a bulk of our training was doing some sort of variation on that. I've done a pre-max principle with the tire. I've done a lot with the tire, and I've taught him that he can take it from the back side. I've taught him that he can take it from the front side. He can take it from an angle. So he can, and that's not at speed. I'm not asking him to do any of those weird angles at speed. So the only time that I've increased speed, because it can be a dangerous obstacle, so the only time I've increased speed is when he's coming off of a direct obstacle. So I think that's it. Is that it? Oh, you're so smart. You are just so smart. Good job, buddy. Good job. Yeah, thank you. Good. Oh, good night.